Hello everyone, I am Shashank and you are watching Developer's Luck. Today I am going to explain this Node.js documentation and what's the need of this documentation. We have to understand that there are Node.js applications we can build without using any NPM module. Many developers has the common mindsets. So let's observe that what are the common developer mindsets. So first is that everyone thinks that Node.js application we have to develop, then just go for this npm module and just start it. Like everyone start it like whenever they have to do any Node.js application, they just install the Express and start that Express server, and they are just gonna depend on the npm module then. So it's not a good habit because there are lots of Node.js in native modules are available, which you will see in this series. So another common mindset is that some developers think that okay, I want to understand the documentation, but they got stuck in the process to read, and then there are lots of internal link by link they have given, so they just get bored, and many developers who complete it but they are not using it. So it's a common thing. Another thing we have seen is that we have seen is that if there is any talk which is like there are lots of words which they are using, lots of concepts which they are using, which are very low level concepts, then they are feeling like that what is going on here, this is in kind of an alien language. They are not just getting connected with the presenter, and they are not getting the essence, exact essence, that what exactly they want to say. So these are the common things we have seen in the developers, and what because of that day-to-day activity, day-to-day habits, they face some issues. What are the issues? When there isn't any demand, like you have to implement this particular feature, so developer think that okay, I have to search for the npm module whether it is available or not. If it is available, I am comfortable. If it is not, I am not comfortable and I cannot implement on that. So this is not a good developer mindset, what I suggest. And if they found that, even if they found that, they are feeling like okay, this there is an issue, our use case is particularly this, there is some problem, and they just get involved in that particular series of actions that this module has that problem, and how in github they are reading the article, in stack overflow they are reading articles, that how it is getting solved by other people, how what they are doing. So they are actually deviating from their actual goal. Actual goal is to write that particular feature, implement that particular feature, but what they are doing actually is that they are just investigating the npm module. So this is not a good practice, and this is just gets it just wastes your time actually. So even if they found something, and they found something, so what they will do is like they will introduce so many dependencies. They will introduce a big pull, not this one, but yeah, this one. Actually, this is the node modules. The node modules is the big pull in this node.js world. Everyone knows that. And why it is, let me show you that. Because if we see a simple servers, like one is the express server, one is the http server, okay, then if you see that express server code, if you see that express server code, we have to install the express module inside of that. You can see that in the package.json there is express I've installed, okay, and because of that we can see this node modules, and this node module is a huge files. I was wanted only the express, but express has so many internet dependencies and so many stuffs they are bundled inside a single thing, and they have given it, it's like a framework for the node.js. But isn't it unnecessary in all cases? It may be good in some cases, but most of the cases it's not. So if we see that index.js is a very simple code like express, you have to just require it and just app equal to express method, and this just use this and listen it. So whenever there is a slash root, then it will send back that hello from the Express server. Similarly, there is a HTTP server where you no need to install anything, and you just use the basic HTTP module. This is now Node.js built-in native module, and here you can see that we are writing that http.create server to create the server, and inside of that we are just doing the routing based on the request.url. If URL has the slash, then it will send back that hello from HTTP server, or if it is any other thing, then we will send back that it is something default route. So but it is not correct way. So default way should be like some we have to redirect back to the root. But this is not the point of my point. That I want to raise a point that what is the difference we are seeing here. So in the Express, as you can see, that there are lots of size it is taking. So it's like if you see, if I show you that what exactly how much amount of memory it is consuming, then you can see like here that in the folder this get the info. So you can see that it is 1.7 MB, and if you see this HTTP server, it's just 809 bytes. So because we are not including any third party or any external module, so that's why it's a very small size. It's so some people say that okay, size doesn't matter for me, but size actually matters. And and if we see in the when we run it, both the servers, we can see another difference. That is, if we run the Express server, we can see that waiting time is around 644 milliseconds. It is very huge as compared to the HTTP server. When we run it, it gives there we have to take around 17 milliseconds only. So it's a major difference actually. You can see the difference based on the size, different based on the coding style, how we have to write, what we have to write, so many things. We are thinking that Express, by using Express we can write a very less amount of code, but it's not. It's a myth. So you can see as you have seen just now, and here in the HTTP it's already available. Why you don't use that particular one? Okay, so that was a major point. And also if you want to make the image of that particular particular application, then it's like very huge amount of memory you are huge amount of space you're using to make that node app Docker image. Like Docker image, if you have to build, then it's a very huge amount of Docker image it will get built. If you are making with the native application, native modules, it's a very simple very small size of Docker image. Then some people think that okay, Docker image, why we will think about that, because it's our own cloud where we will host, we are taking care of that, and why we will get will think about that. But actually in the some scenarios where actually it's not a good practice to make a huge amount of huge amount of stuffs in a single thing, and gives, I mean, the Docker image will be like a very big file. Then it's not a good practice. Also in the scenario like when you are giving this image to some other people, other customers, then it is not a good practice, because they may not be interested to give you a standalone server. They maybe give you a space on their particular machine, and there you have to host everything. Then it's a very difficult. Okay, so another issue what they face because of their habits is like sometimes npm modules change their code. Recently Formidable changed their code syntax. So it was a problem we have faced, that Formidable changed their syntax, and now if anyone who has access to commit the code in the production, then they if they do, which is the part of the process, that they have to do they have to install the newly dependent dependencies, then it's a problem. then you have to stop that process, or you have to use that particular version that is like so specific you have to work on then. So it's a problem that they have changed their syntax now. Because you are dependent on them, you have to work again on the same feature which you have already implemented, which was already tested, which was maybe in the production as well. So it's not a good way. Okay, so reasons of the problems. These are the problems they have faced, but what is the reason behind that? The reason behind that is the lack of awareness. First point is the lack of awareness of the Node.js native modules, because Node.js also has the native modules, as we have seen the example of the Express and the HTTP. So some people has the lack of awareness in the Node.js world, and some people has the lack of awareness in the CS fundamentals as well. So because they are, and they found themselves as the difficult to understand the talks and all, because they are lacking in the some CS fundamentals concepts, like operating system fundamentals, or the computer network or data structures. Mainly the operating system part they are lacking, so they are just feeling uncomfortable. Some people has the concepts on the Node native side. Some people has that concept on the CS fundamental as well, but they are not linking those concepts, that how they are interrelated and how we can make our own native stuffs. So then only you can contribute in the Node.js world. Otherwise, you are using it only. Okay. So solution is what? Solution is that I'll give you the way that how we can link it, how we should read that particular documentation what they have provided, so that we can understand what are the native modules available and how we can interrelate those modules and the background of those modules with the CS fundamentals. Okay, like one example, we have that HTTP module, and now we have to implement the NPM module on top of that. So we have implemented the Express module. Okay, now that is the above level we are going. Now we have to go inside the deeper level. So that way only we can understand. So if we go deeper, then HTTP is built on top of net.server, and net.server is built. What is net.server? Net.server is to create the servers. Okay, and net.server is built on top of the event emitters. Okay, many so many modules are built on top of this event emitter. An event emitter is built on top of socket. Socket is nothing but the core of the networking, and this is the core of the operating system. Concepts that system calls we have to do to run any to fulfill any requirements. User programs gives the request to the user program gives the request to this kernel using the system calls, and kernel will talk to hardware and responds back whenever the response is ready to the user. So this is the way we can interact with the hardware, interact with the kernel. So these are the system calls basically. So so let's get started. So these are the things. These are the interesting things we will gonna explore in this series. And so let's get started. First is this. We will understand that what are the Node.js documentation types available. So let's see side by side. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So as you can see here, there are three types of documentations available. The one is this API reference documentation, one is this ES6 modules, and something they have explained about the V8 as well. You can check out the V8 versions and other stuff. And the guide they have introduced. So guide they have like so many common stuffs to understand that introduction to Node.js, event loops, and what is non-blocking versus blocking, and what is thread pool, timers, what are those concepts. All the concepts they have explained in this guide. But in this series, I'm going to explain you first this API reference documentation. So if we go inside this 14.17.1, so we have time for the next LTS version, so we can stick on this, and so that we can get base of this, so then whenever the new 16 Node.js will come, and we can just cover up that what are the new stuffs. So majorly whatever they're in the experimental mode, majorly they try to make it stable. So what exactly it means is that documentation as well explains that there are different types of things you can use. I mean, you can use this documentation for different things, like for the contributing, you can mark a bug. You can mark a bug that, okay, Node.js has this particular bug inside this module or something, and you have found this and that, so you just raise this bug over here. Also you can contribute it, so there is a contribution guide, so how you can contribute inside the Node.js, and code contributing to Node.js, code of conduct, and how you can generate the pull request. Everything is there inside this contributing section. Then they have explained that there are some stability indexes for this APIs. So particularly this stability is like they mark as zero, deprecated one, so they are not giving any support for that particular API. And stability one is the experimental, they are just doing the experiment on that whether it is working or not. So many test cases are pending on that, so because that it is experimental. Previously they were like worker threads was in the experimental section, now it is in the stable section. So stable, whatever the stable ones you can use in your production as well. But there is a legacy. Legacy is like they are stable, they have versioning and versioning support, but they are not recommending it to the use in the production, because there are other, maybe other APIs as well available, which you should use, start using it in place of that legacy, and just forget that. Okay, so next is they have some JSON output on every page, so we can use that if we have to make some different type of use case, like you want to make your own Node.js documentation, or you want to use some different APIs, how many different APIs are available inside that, and so you can use this in different ways. So that you just need to pick this URL, just do the get call, and you will get back this response back as the JSON. So you can use this in your applications. Next, what they introduce is the system calls and man pages. So what they have saying is that you can there are lots of places where they have just highlighted this text, and that is a system call. So they are not explaining that what particular system call is, but I'm gonna explain you in this series, and you can read about that particular system call by clicking on that hyperlink, and you can check out that man page of those system calls, and later we will also study about that how we can write our own system call. That will be very interesting, and that will be a different series on this channel. And these are the things basically. So these now there are so many APIs available, as you have seen, that so many APIs are there as the Node.js native modules. So let's check out one by one what exactly they are. Okay, so yeah, so there are lots of like assert, buffer, child process. Child process is very important in this Node.js native things, like child process.exe you can use to directly hit the command on the Linux or a command prompt, and you will get back the response. And child process is also used in so many other stuffs. And clustering, you can split the single node process into multiple processes, so it is very important. And there is some benchmarking, is like how many cores you have, that much you can I mean generate the multi processes. Crypto, like PVK-DF2 is a one method, everyone knows about that, and that is very important. Like Passport.js and is giving option for this generating a salt and gen salt or something and all, but exactly we can create a hash for the password using the pvkdf2 function. Okay, and dgram is to implement the udp datagram sockets. DNS lookups and name resolution function. Domain is not abbreviated, but so we'll not check it out. Then events is very important because the other so many modules they have implemented on top of this events only, and to handle the events. HTTP, HTTPS are also there, so we can make the Node.js act as HTTP server. HTTP2 is also they have introduced, and net is basically to create the servers, clients. OS and path are very important. OS and path are very important, and OS provides the information about the operating systems, that how many CPU utilized, how many memories there is, and so many other stuffs. Then path is like handle the file path, relative path, absolute path. You can see the module wrapper function as well, which so many people, so many developers are not aware of that. What is module wrapper function, that we will see in our next video. And so read line is there. Read line is like if you have to make the Node.js CLI application, then it is very important to use this read line, so that to handle readable streams, and one by line by line you can read, and you can use that output. So string decoders are there, timers are there to execute a function after a given number of milliseconds. We will discuss in a detailed section that how the timers in Node.js and how the timers API works. Then TLS is there to implement TLS and SSL protocols, and TTY is there to provide classes used by a text terminal. URL and utils, so you can manipulate the URLs and all. Then V8 is there to access information about the V8. You can check that which version they are using, and on top of that, like 14 is there, so which and V8 version they are using for the Node.js 14, which version for the 16 and further. So like that. Zlib is there. Zlib to compress and decompress the files, and directly inbuilt method is there, so no need to depend on other stuffs. Stream NFS, yeah, stream NFS are very important. Streams to handle streaming data. You can just read from one place and write it to another place, and that is very important. Read stream, write stream, we will cover in a separate lecture. And this FS is to handle the file system. It is very important to for the, if you are making any exe and all, this is very much important. If you have to make any file, you have to remove any file, you have to create any directory, list out what are the files available in particular folders. So many times we have to use that. So natively, if you are making any application, this is very important. Even if you are not making natively, people are using FS only. So yeah, so that's all for this part one, and we'll for the next video we'll discuss about that what is module wrapper function. So many APIs we will discuss, and that's all for today. If you like this video, just like it, dislike it. Just comment down below, and just subscribe to the Developers Truck. Just till then, just stay tuned. Thank you.